Hello and welcome to ClapTrap Restaurant. May I take your order?
I would like it cheeseburgers, fries, no onion, please.
Fuck you. Wait, did you say no onions?
Yeah, no onions.
Genuinely, fuck you. No onions on a cheeseburger.
Yeah, no, why would you poison flavor?
Onion?
They taste like...
Onion is
raw,
great.
Raw onion tastes like knives.
No.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Tastes like knives. It's a sharp flavor, but it's not a bad one.
It shouldn't bring the blood on my tongue.
40 seconds in and we're on a debate.
Okay, so... Why don't you tell them this week's topic?
This week's topic would be food.
Food.
And I sat down, I and I was like, I realized I have not eaten anything today.
So we're going to sit here for an hour to an hour and a half talking about food and recipes, and you've not eaten.
My mouth is watering. I got up like 3 hours ago. I really slept in because we went to a Halloween party last night.
Yeah,
And,
I saw that.
Oh yeah, it was fun. It was a fun time. Watched a scary movie and genuinely scary. Didn't think so from the trailers I had seen around. It just looked like another cheesy movie. It was very unsettling.
What was it?
Hereditary.
Cool.
Yeah, it was the kind of scary movie. It was light on the jump scares. It was all about the making you feel like deeply like dread.
Oh, that's cool.
It's very cool. I think you would like it a lot. It's got some occultism in the ending, but I had to come home and Bailey was not having it. I had to come home, put on a pot of tea, and sit her down in front of a Disney movie before she could sleep.
Oh, that sounds like a great recipe. And
Yeah. So I was just gonna say that because of that I slept in till like 3 p.m. today by accident.
Yes.
I had alarms set for like 12 to 2 o'clock, and I slept through all of them. Then I got up at 3 and I ran down to Speedway for a coffee, and I came back and started recording Drock, and that's all I've done today.
Huh.
So I am.
Well,
I'm not feeling like starving yet, but I'm going to the further we get into this. So Zed, do you like food?
yeah. That's one of the first things I do when I get up is I make breakfast. And let me open up by telling you one of the quickest, easiest breakfasts you can grab these days. It's fucking filling that's not eggs. So what I do is I get 3 microwave pancakes. I put peanut butter on them and honey.
Huh.
It fills you up.
I guess it
lots
would,
of
but why
protein,
not just have
and
a
it's
peanut butter
good.
sandwich instead of disgusting microwave pancakes?
Boredom.
Boredom?
Don't you get bored with flavors and like food in general? Like you eat so much of one thing, you become bored with it and want something different.
How is a greasy microwave pancake a more exciting alternative to a piece of bread?
I've never had a greasy microwave pancake. I've never had it come out greasy.
Well, whatever. It tastes like shit.
Okay. So,
Fuck
and
you.
for lunch, I had a chicken and cheese, and I think I put the General Tso sauce on the chicken, tortilla wraps. And I ate 2 of those.
Oh, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
General Tso's tortilla. That's interesting. Okay.
All's fair in love and war.
Yeah, peanut butter and honey is a good combo though, but just I don't like the microwave pancakes. I'm not a fan generally of I mean, I guess I am, but like sometimes like obviously microwavable frozen foods are not going to be culinary delights, I think. It's all about the convenience with those.
Mhm.
So, when it comes to pancakes, I prefer mixing batter and actually frying some up,
That's fair. I just didn't have to give a fuck, and sometimes when you got 30 minutes to shower, fucking get to grounds and not be hungry by 11, you got to grab what you can grab. And
I'll tell you, for my grab food, because I'm like on a weight loss thing right now. I'm trying to get in shape.
Yes.
And so what I'll just I get these packs of they're like granola bars, and they're like oats and nuts pressed together with honey. It's oat and honey bar, and it's delicious. And I'll grab one of those, and it's it's good for you. I think it's fairly light on calories, and it's like all carbs. So you get a nice little carbo load, and you got some energy for a few hours.
I've made those like pseudo versions of them out of peanut butter, oats, honey, mashed
butter
nuts.
Would go good in them because you get some protein in there.
Well, it acts as a binding agent.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, I've put syrup in it before. I've thought about like sprinkling coffee grounds into the mix. I've not done it yet, but
coffee grounds aren't like good to eat.
I've eaten them
in my
before.
experience.
I think it can be done. I haven't figured out how to do it yet, but I think it would be really cool.
All right, well, you keep me posted on the results of that experiment.
And I keep it and I freeze it.
Oh.
And let it harden in the freezer, and then when it comes out, I can just cut it open, and I got myself homemade energy bars to take on the go.
Cool. Very cool. Now I'm starting to get hungry.
But I think for my money, the best breakfast you could possibly have is some scrambled eggs with a bit of milk in it, so it gets nice and fluffy.
Oh, you gotta have milk in your scrambled eggs. People who put water in their scrambled eggs, you're doing it wrong. Put milk in there.
Now don't get me wrong, I'll eat scrambled eggs just as eggs, but
Yeah.
I've never heard of water, and that bothers me.
Oh, it's
like,
God, yeah. It's not good. It it makes them like it makes them light and fluffy the way milk kind of does, but it doesn't. It honestly just kind of waters down the taste, I guess, and it doesn't. I like the milk. It makes them fluffy and a bit like creamier tasting. It's the only way to do scrambled eggs, man.
Yeah. And of course, scrambled eggs are nice because you can experiment with cheese and pepper. I love black pepper on anything.
Mm-hmm.
Salt, lightly salted. I don't like too much salt.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm trying to dial back from salt on the whole because one thing, sodium's bad for you and it makes you feel bloated and retain water weight and all that. And because it kind of ruins your palate a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
People are. B's got this problem. I'm like, whenever I cook for the both of us, I'll salt her food a little bit more because I know she wants that. But I'll make like the most, I don't know. It's something that's like, this is so flavorful, and I'll put some salt on hers, a little bit more than mine, and I'll bring it over to the table, and she'll take a bite, and she'll be like, "This needs salt." No, it doesn't. You have ruined your palate, and you don't know how to taste anymore, and you think salt is a flavor enhancer, but like it gets to the point where it's like you're not tasting the food, you're just tasting salt.
Mm-hmm. Like there's a lot of
you,
spices.
Salt boys.
There's a lot of. I mean,
I'm
you've
salty
seen
about salt. Have I seen what?
You've seen my spice collection. It's sort of there for everyone to see.
Have I? I don't know. There's a
it's
lot
like right
going
above,
on in your home.
Like right above the sink, all them spices and stuff that's there.
Oh yeah.
Like ginger and garlic. You could add ginger and garlic to a lot of things and make it taste good. Basil,
garlic,
parsley,
yeah.
onion
Garlic powder I usually use instead of salt. Garlic salt.
Mm-hmm.
If I want, I like to control how much salt goes into something, so I don't. Fuck salt. Fuck salt. Just.
I'm looking over at them, wishing I could remember everything I have over there.
Mm-hmm.
Creole seasoning, which if you've never had Creole seasoning, it is like a spicy, salty seasoning. It's
That
really
sounds
good.
interesting. I've never.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've had it, but I'll look into it.
Pink Himalayan salt.
Oh yeah, that's some good shit.
I just got in this.
That was all my mom was like cooking with was pink Himalayan salt.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she went to the doctor and they were like, you might be developing like a thyroid problem because you don't have enough iodine. And it's because she stopped using iodized salt entirely. And so she's kind of broken away from that now. She's like, I have to get at least a little bit of iodized salt in every day. It's like she warned me about it. She's like, you gotta take in some iodized salt. I know you're cutting back on sodium, but apparently if you don't take in iodine, you're gonna be fucked later in life. So that's something to keep in mind. Yeah. So that's why I do still lightly salt things, because you do need some sodium, you do need some iodine, but taking in too much will fuck you as well.
Mm-hmm. Like, I'm trying to think. The last time I cooked something seriously was probably that hamburger casserole for when my mom, brother, and sister came up.
Ooh,
And
hamburger casserole.
And what I did was I fried the hamburgers, I lightly salted them,
Mm-hmm.
and put probably double the amount of pepper on them than I did salt. It brought out the flavor, gave it a nice hearty feel. I chopped it up,
Yeah.
and then I added it in there. And I used, so there was sodium in that dish, but it was just enough to enhance the flavor of the beef itself, which is, of course, complemented by the sauteed onions and green peppers,
Mm-hmm.
the cream of mushroom soup, the fried potatoes.
Cream of mushrooms
and
are
all kinds.
delicious.
They are, and like what I like about mushrooms is you can put them in any dish and they absorb flavor.
Mm-hmm. Especially in beef dishes. Mushrooms and beef
Mhm.
go so well together.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the last time I think I've used salt seriously.
That's the last time I, seriously did some salt, man.
Well, I mean, like this is the last time I sat down and said to myself, I'm gonna do something like super culinary and think about what I do with
Yeah.
my tools.
Again, I'm trying to get in shape, and I've slimmed down a lot. I don't know if you've been able to notice, especially with all the baggy clothes I wear, but I've actually lost like a decent amount of weight. I think I'm nearing like 40-ish pounds
Yeah.
down on my weight loss goal so far. It's been a minute since I stepped on the scale, but I lost most of the fat at this point, and now I'm trying to put on muscle.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've been trying to take in a lot of protein, and I've been like I've got to have steak at least once a week, and I just crave red meat so much. And when you crave something, it's because your body is trying to tell you need it, most of the time. And I need to take in that protein because I'm building muscle and working myself a lot. And how do you season your steak, Zed?
It's been so long since I've made steak. It's so expensive. I don't,
It's kind of when you're cooking for two people, I can do it, So it's like you can get a couple of nice little steaks for like $10.
It's been a long fucking time since I've bought steak. Holy shit,
man! Dude, next time you come up, remind me, and I'll make steaks.
Let's see. I usually use some rub because I got a bunch of different steak rubs in there.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, black pepper, light salt, and something my dad used to do is he would stab it.
Yeah.
And
I do that too, to like try to get it to cook evenly through and whatnot. But I don't stab it. I'll cut like I'll kind of score it, I guess you could say. I'll do like light little cuts crisscrossing all across it.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, and then I'll season it with salt, black pepper, some like whatever steak seasoning, I guess, and I like onion powder. I put a couple dashes of onion powder on my steak.
Mm-hmm.
And then I cook it in butter instead of oil.
Yeah, butter's really good. I used to. I think I marinated it sometimes.
Really?
I used olive oil as the marinating liquid. But I can't remember. I know that's how I do chicken. Is I marinate it in olive oil with all the spices. But
Bailey has been like heckling me about getting you to give me the recipe for that slow cooker olive oil salmon. She's had like a bunch of frozen salmon in the freezer for weeks, and she's like, "Why don't you get Zed to tell you how to make that?" And I'm like, "He kind of did." And she's like, he didn't say how long to." So how long do you put it in the slow cooker for, Zed?
Okay. So for new listeners, what it is I
just
do,
go ahead and take that one from the top.
I season my fish with, and honestly, it's whatever you want on it. Season to taste. Do you?
Lemon pepper.
Yeah, lemon pepper, or honestly, if you got it, a fresh squeezed lemon or lime.
Lime. Yeah, I've got some lime. I'll do that. She used to put garlic on fish, and that doesn't go in my mind. Garlic on fish just doesn't work.
I'll try it. I'm not against trying things.
It's not the
especially in the
greatest.
world of food. So what I do is I take the fish and I make a bowl out of aluminum foil, and I place the fish in the foil. I can't remember if it's each piece of fish gets its own foil or not, because it's been a hot minute since I've done this.
It would probably be better if they did, I guess.
Yeah, it probably would. And then I put olive oil in it, like just a hearty amount of olive oil.
Is it like swimming in olive oil, or is it what?
Yeah, it basically is when I do it.
Okay.
It's probably a good.
Because it's going to end up absorbing most of that in the, or as much as it can, I guess, in the slow cooker over time.
But it doesn't come out greasy. It's olive oil is very different in that aspect.
Yeah.
So I put, probably a centimeter or two of olive oil in it, and I wrap it up to where none of the olive oil can escape.
Of course, it's going to though. So.
Oh yeah, you can't stop it.
You can't stop the oil, dog.
But you want to try, and after that, I just. So with slow cooking, you put it on high heat, you're going to get a good product, but you want to put it on low to medium and really let it cook.
Yeah. And for how long? The eternal question in my household.
Usually on high heat, it only takes me about 2 or 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
On medium to low, 3 or 4 hours, and I usually just try to check it every couple of hours.
Yeah, okay.
So just sort of every hour or two, check it and just peek in there, open the foil up, stab at it. But eventually, the end result is you open up the fish, you stab into it, you try to pick it up with your fork, and you realize this is Zed's fish. You need a spoon because it's just that tender.
Yeah.
So,
which fish is already so tender? Like you can pan fry fish and it'll still come apart like nothing. Mm-hmm. So I can't even imagine like what kind of fish soup this comes out as.
No, it's still a solid piece of.
Well, yeah, I imagine it has like the consistency of meatloaf or something.
I manage whenever I take it out of the foil, I use a spatula.
Okay.
I can't stress that enough.
Okay, spatula noted. I'm writing it down now.
Yeah.
Spatula.
So. Now I have the fear of you guys will try it and tell me how bad it is.
I mean, salmon slow cooked in olive oil. How can it be bad? Exactly.
But I don't know. I love it. It's one of my favorite things. It makes the house smell fan-fucking-tastic. You don't get a better smell.
Fan-fucking-tastic.
Yeah.
All right. I got myself so burned out on fish because it was all I was eating when I started trying to lose weight. I was eating so much fish, and I kind of got sick of the taste a little bit. And it's been a couple of months, and I still don't want to come back around to it. And she's like, I bought all this fish. Can we eat this fucking fish? It's been in the freezer. I'm like, I don't want to eat any fucking fish anymore. I don't want to do it. But I still love the taste of salmon. I think of the fact that it's salmon, because that's what I was eating. I was eating so much salmon. And it's like, if I go back to fish now, I want to eat some white fish. Mm-hmm. Something different. I like tilapia. Fried. The best way to have tilapia is breaded.
I can't stomach fried fish.
What, really?
Mm-hmm.
You've probably never had good fried fish, though. Have you had it properly cooked, or have you had fried fish from a restaurant or something like a Long John Silver's? Because that shit is greasy as hell. Super oily food and a lot of breaded fried food.
Meats especially just make me sick because how oily it is.
If you bread it yourself and you can control that, obviously. Mm-hmm. My mom used to make breaded tilapia, and it wasn't. We had some breaded tilapia here that she bought that was pre-breaded, and that smelled like a week old pussy, and it was kind of weird. But if you bread it yourself, if you get the tilapia and you oil it up a bit, you bread it with fine breadcrumbs, and don't pan fry it, but bake it. It comes out. It's not too greasy, and it's very good.
Fair enough. I would probably have to fry it in butter or olive oil or something. If for it not, I know it's, I eat the weirdest shit half the time, but grease is my one Achilles heel. Like excessive vegetable oil and canola. That's why I have.
Well, I
butter
mean,
and
excessive grease is obviously bad for you and will make you fucking sick. You know.
Mm-hmm. Like, it's to the point where like Pizza Hut's deep dish pizza makes me sick.
Dude, Pizza Hut's been making me sick for years. I haven't got pizza from Pizza Hut in forever because it's too damn greasy.
I gotta
Pizza
get
Hut
that. Like,
is the greasiest pizza out there. What the fuck are they doing?
I have the answer. I had a buddy of mine who worked at Pizza Hut, which before I begin this tangent, thin crust isn't that greasy, and it's really good. So,
but thin crust is, I don't know. I'm not generally a fan of thin crust pizzas. I like a doughy crust.
we can differ. So
Hashtag Papa John's for life.
So what they do is they do their dough the night before,
Mm-hmm.
and they like let it sit in some oil or something.
Ugh.
Like they like grease it up the night before, and then.
Fucking why?
I don't know.
Oh my
I
God.
used to be a pizza chef for the new
same.
listeners, and what we did is we took balls of dough. We made it that morning, and it's just dough wrapped in plastic wrap. I take it out, I flatten it, I shape it, I put it on the pan, I oil the pan with like a Pam spray, and then I bake it, and it was not greasy at all. Like, I don't understand. Like, I guess deep dish has its own little thing, but
Yeah. Yeah, it's. I used to work at Papa John's, and I was a delivery driver, but of course I made pizzas as well when I had a moment to spare. They were like trying to help us in the kitchen, and so I'd go back there and I'd make pizzas, and they only used oil at all if it was a pan pizza, like a deep dish pan pizza. Mm-hmm. And if they were just making a regular pizza, it sat on a rack. They flattened the dough out. They built the pizza on it, and they put it on like a little mesh thing to roll through, like the conveyor oven, which was very cool. But no oil went on to the pizza dough at all if it wasn't a pan pizza, and that's how I like it. It was just doughy and floury.
yes.
So Papa John's for life.
Yeah.
Do you think most people who work in food end up hating like the food of where they worked at?
Yeah.
Not the case with me and Papa John's. Of course, I don't eat Papa John's pizza that much because it's a little bit expensive and it's pizza and it's bad for you. But I still, to this day, enjoy it. yeah, I know. You gotta get those promos, man. You gotta put in the coupon codes on the app when you deliver.
In my opinion, it's all, when it comes to the Papa John's, it's all about the sauce. And if I can find the recipe for the sauce, I'll never order from them again because I got the sauce,
Dude, if you would have told me, they had giant like cans of Papa John's special sauce come in on the truck every day. You should have told me to steal you some. I don't know.
Oh Lord. Oh, I apologize to the listeners. I gotta fix my chair here.
Fuck your chair, dude.
Fuck my chair. But my back, my poor 23-year-old back.
My pussy and my crack.
Okay, so I want to give out a quick food PSA. If you're making biscuits, use self-rising flour and whole milk.
Mm-hmm.
And do not use oil, you use butter. Thank you.
Yeah. I think most people outside of Appalachia and the South don't make biscuits, dude. Like, biscuits and gravy is one of my favorite meals, but like it seems like people outside of here just don't like it. Like when they try it, like I'm gonna try some country food and they have biscuits and gravy and they're like, this is gross, and I'm like
gravy. Like, I can understand somebody not liking gravy because I've made it homemade, and that's nothing but meat, grease, milk, and flour.
Yeah.
That's it.
Honestly, some of the powdered white gravies are better.
Mm-hmm.
For some,
Probably
I
better
don't know,
for you.
Yeah, because gravy is just, when you make it homemade from scratch, just is made of like flour and grease. Mom kept this like little tin tankard on the stove that was just a collection of bacon grease, and when it got full, she would make gravy.
Yeah, like I've had hamburger gravy, chicken gravy. I
Yeah.
once did a 3-meat gravy with honey just because I could.
With honey, I've never had breakfast gravy with honey in it. That sounds quite interesting.
It's it tastes exactly like you think it tastes.
Yeah.
It just adds a layer of sweetness to it. So
Yeah.
it was like chicken, beef, and bacon grease with honey.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah.
Because honey is good on a biscuit by itself, so that might go well.
Yeah,
You can add sweet flavors to things that you wouldn't think, like pineapple on ham. Sounds weird, but it's good. It adds a lot to it for some fucking reason.
Yeah, it is absolutely. Like pineapple's a weird one for me. Like I love a baked pineapple.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm one of the I support pineapple on pizza.
You know, it's a big meme, and I'm like, ooh, you eat pineapple on pizza? That's weird. Fuck you. But I've never honestly tried it.
Try it. Like it really complements the Papa John's sauce.
I'll try it if it's like around, but I'm not gonna order a pineapple pizza without knowing if I like it.
Mm-hmm. I like the Roma tomatoes, the pineapple, and the chicken.
Tomatoes on pizza are good, and I thought it would be like, what's the point? Because it's got tomato sauce, but it's different when you have just like cubed pieces of tomato on your pizza. It adds something that wasn't there before.
Yeah, of course.
And I like black olives and mushrooms. You know, I always get the works from Papa John's. It's good shit.
I like a light black olive. If I'm getting black olives on anything, it's got to be light.
Well, yeah, it should just be supplementary. It shouldn't be like in your face. You know, you got to control your portioning to make the flavors, not make sure something doesn't overpower something else.
Yeah, like when I go to Subway and I ask for black olives, I always tell them half the usual. You know,
Half the usual.
and then one dude
when I do
still.
get a Subway sandwich, they do go a little bit heavy on the black olives. You're right.
Mm-hmm. Ah, Subway.
Eat
I
fresh.
love you. I fucking love you, Subway, but
Subway's pretty
you
good.
need. That's probably my favorite fast food restaurant.
It's
so
I can't even think of it as fast food. I don't know. It feels good, you know?
Yeah,
You're
it's
like,
good
oh, I
food.
want to get something quick, you know, I'm out. I want to get some food while I'm out, but I don't want to feel like shit about it. Subway, eat fresh.
Mm-hmm.
You know? It's not bad shit.
Yeah.
Not bad at all.
God, I'm probably gonna walk out and buy some Subway now. So.
Yeah. Oh, I'm getting hungry, man. I'm getting hungry. I don't know. No, if I run out for food after this, I'm getting a motherfucking cheeseburger because
Let's talk about
burgers
yet.
because burgers are the shit. I love burgers so much. Like I said, I crave red meat constantly because I need that protein or whatever. And just like burgers are such a good way to get it. You know, you get the meat from the patty if it's and it tastes when it's. I like my steaks rare, but I like my burgers well done and like charred.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the best way to have a burger patty. And then you get your veggies on top, and cheese, some carbs from the buns, and it's the ultimate fucking food. I don't know. I love burgers, and I like the aesthetic a lot surrounding like burger joints and like burger culture. I guess is burger culture a thing?
Maybe on some minute level, you can isolate different stereotypes surrounding the burger aesthetic to sort of create a burger culture, but I don't think there's
burger
an actual...
culture is my culture.
Okay, that's...
And it's not your prom dress.
Oh, Lord.
My lunch is not your fucking prom dress.
Okay, so something I want to add to that is that whenever there's a new mom and pop place open up, the first thing I always order is a cheeseburger because there's a lot of telltale signs within that cheeseburger. The quality of the bun lets you know what quality of bread they use there. The quality of the beef.
Okay.
How fresh the vegetables are. The cut of lettuce they choose to put on there. Because if it's like the white lettuce, that means they don't give a fuck about you. If it's the green leafy
Bailey
lettuce,
actually
they
prefers
care.
the white lettuce because she likes lettuce for the crunch. She likes crunchy lettuce, so she wants the white part.
Well, that's because Yankees don't understand food.
Oh,
But-
you're not wrong. Because what I like to crunch in my burger is a big old fat slice of raw onion. Fuck you. Where do you get your crunch? You gotta have some crunch in a burger, dude. Where's it come from?
The pickle.
Oh yeah, I hadn't thought of that. But you can't put too much pickle in a burger, or else the vinegar overpowers the rest of the taste.
No, the cheese, the quality of the cheese they use,
Mm-hmm.
how thick the tomato, incidentally, is what
If your
cancels out
cheese
the pickle
is
for me.
not at least 50% melted, I'm walking away.
So do you get what I'm saying? Like, a cheeseburger is a telltale sign for that restaurant.
Yes,
There's
because it's
so much.
It's like the master class of the fucking restauranting. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
At least in like you said, the small mom and pop shops. Like, no.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the fancy restaurants, most of them won't even have a cheeseburger. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, it'll tell you a lot about the place that you might not get from any other isolated dish, because so much goes into a burger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It
and
does.
I agree
it
with
does.
you. And put some onions on your burger, you animal.
No, thank you.
What about a red onion?
There's no such thing. They're purple.
They're called red, though, dude.
Yeah, and if I
Okay.
ever
What
meet
about
the person
what about a purple onion then, Zed?
Nah, they just taste funny.
You're gay.
Like, that's something, like, I used to, for the new listeners, I used to work at a substation,
Mm-hmm.
like a pseudo Subway at my college, and
Which was just part of the cafeteria, right?
yeah, and everybody like kept asking for red onions, and I'm looking at them thinking, if I ever meet the man or woman who named these red onions, we're engaging in mortal combat.
Zed, it's just something you gotta learn. Red onions are purple. Red grapes are purple. They're just kind of red, though. Still.
It's purple.
White onions are kind of yellowish. White grapes are green.
It's pure raw hatred.
I'm sorry, dude. Like, start a petition then. Damn.
It's okay. I'm
But,
not actually going to start a petition
Yeah,
over
for the
something
purposes
so
of this
stupid.
conversation, can we call them by their names?
Red onions.
Yeah. Red.
I guess. I don't.
Um,
I've never actually just said I'm gonna buy a red onion today. So
You know what? I like the sharp taste of a raw onion. I do. But I agree with you that sautéed is probably one of the best ways to have an onion.
mm-hmm.
I like a raw onion. I
them.
like that sharpness, and I like the crunch on my burger. But if I've got some lettuce and I've got some pickles, then that'll provide me with enough crunch. And I like sautéed. I'll put sautéed onions, and when I fry burgers by myself at the house, I'll put the burgers in the pan and I'll throw in some onions and mushrooms to saute
that's really good.
with the beef. And sauteed onions and mushrooms on your burger are very good, as long as you've got something else that can provide your crunch, because that crunch is crucial.
The bell pepper is always good with. Do you know what a Zed burger is?
I can't say I do. Why don't you educate me?
Okay, so I'm gonna sit. I gotta find the photo. So what a Zed burger is, it's a burger with high quality beef, high quality bun, but it's so overloaded with vegetables that it becomes something new all entirely.
Okay.
So
What kind of vegetables is like that aren't present in regular burgers, though?
let's see, carrots, shredded
Carrots
carrots,
on a burger?
avocado,
Oh. I'm not a
green
huge
pepper,
avocado fan.
bell pepper,
Bell pepper.
pepper jack cheese.
Well,
Let's
that's a
see.
given.
Yeah, of course. I'm trying to find the picture of it. Let's talk about something else while I'm looking for this. Oh wait, never mind. Here it is. Mushrooms, tomato, and like the best bun I can find, and usually some like real high quality beef.
Yeah.
Like I gotta fucking save to make these things, but they're so damn good.
Oh, you sent me that picture. Wow, that looks like a... Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, those are whole baby carrots in there, aren't there? I thought you meant like carrot
Yeah.
slices.
I couldn't find my shredder.
Oh well, don't shred. Just cut up. Just get like a regular sized carrot and cut it into like a pickle sized slices. I say that honestly doesn't look bad. Yeah, yeah. The bun there. I think that I buy those whenever I make homemade burgers. I think they're called Kaiser Buns, and it's like some very like fine. I don't know if they're sesame seeds, but if they are, they're very like fine sesame seeds. They might be fucking crushed up or something. But I don't know. It adds a lot to the texture of it, and just burgers are such a dynamic with the contrast of everything, with the hot meat and cheese, the cold vegetables, the soft and the crunch, and the buns with the sesame seeds, soft with hard on it. There's so much contrast to a burger, and I think that's what's so interesting about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
there's more to take in than you can possibly even, parse in your mind all at once as you're eating it.
There is, and like I feel like there's still so much more unexplored territory in the world of cheeseburgers.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, the Zed burger, like fucking avocado is actually pretty good on a burger.
I think avocado burgers are actually like a common thing that are served in bars usually now. Whenever we eat at a bar, I usually see an avocado burger on the menu.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And like carrots, like you wouldn't think.
Carrots are new. I've never seen fucking carrots on a burger before, but I'm open to it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say those mushrooms don't look properly sautéed, dude.
They're raw.
Yeah. Okay.
I like raw mushrooms.
I like raw onions, but raw mushrooms on a burger? Mm-hmm. No, they have to be sautéed.
Yeah, like the what's attractive about the Zed burger is like you got the pepper jack.
How much
and
it just tastes like raw vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I could see that, but I guess I just generally don't like raw mushrooms. They got to be cooked. I like them sautéed. I like them fried. There's not, until you cook a mushroom, it's like the flavor doesn't come out.
I like a mushroom, period. So one really cool way of eating mushrooms, but you got to be careful with it, is like you get a whole mushroom.
Okay.
And you pull the stalk off of it, so where it's just the bell.
Right.
Now, this is the important part. You fry it, but when you fry it, you do the hollow part down first. And then when that's done, you flip it over to the bell part, or like the rounded side. And as you're frying it, all the mushroom juice collects
in the bowl.
Yes.
Interesting.
So when you eat it, you got to eat it you got to eat it one at a time in whole, so you get that mushroom juice in your mouth.
That's nice. When Bailey makes stuffed mushrooms once in a while, and those are great. It's like you turn it upside down like a bowl. You said you pull the stalk out, and you turn the head upside down so it's like a bowl. And she stuffs that with a mixture of cream cheese and shredded mozzarella.
That does sound good. We do that with
it's amazing.
We do that with jalapeno poppers. We cut them. We're lazy. We cut them in half and basically put that stuff in them.
Yeah, a bit of spice would probably go well in a stuffed mushroom. Yeah.
I want to make a Zed burgers now.
Well, yeah, man. Well,
I want burgers.
I'll make you some steak, and you make me a Zed burger sometime.
You don't like vegetables though. Like I love the taste of raw vegetables.
They just have to be supplementary. I don't like vegetables too much by themselves, but when they're adding to something, I appreciate that.
I don't know. I just genuinely love them for what they are. Like
they just don't. I don't know. Maybe again, like I said, when you crave something, a lot of times it's because your body needs it or whatever. Maybe I just don't need vegetables. That sounds like what a 4-year-old would say to cop out of eating his broccoli, but I don't dislike the taste of vegetables at all. In fact, I like them. I like I like mushrooms. I like raw carrots. I like broccoli. It's just the fact that it's like I don't like seek it out. Like something about it's not interesting to me.
Yeah. I just love just the taste of vegetables in general. I don't know what it is. Like I just think they're. I can eat them by themselves.
I can too. If you bring me just some raw carrots or something to snack on, that'd be great. I'd have a good time doing it. But it's not something I seek out. I love meat. I love fruit. I just whatever is in vegetables, like just I don't know, my body doesn't crave it.
Like, I've been known to go to a Subway and get a vegetarian sub and load it down to where you can't even close it, just because I desire the taste of vegetables. Now, that night I'm going to fry up some meat, but it's a good lunch when you're craving that shit.
Yeah. Zed, what do you think about eating and fitness as they go together? What do you think about that?
Well, like, the black and whites of losing weight is burning more calories than you're taking in. I think
you do have to control what you're taking in, though. When I say fitness, I don't necessarily mean weight loss, you know? As most people seem to boil down fitness, too. But...
like, just health?
Yeah. Because some great food is terrible for you.
I think as long as you're mindful of what you eat, like, just like I'm a firm believer in moderation in many things. Like, ice cream's not bad in moderation. Sugar's not bad.
Your body
here and
actually
there.
needs some sugar.
Just keep an eye on it. Like, I'm actually a firm believer, and with all these fad diets and everything, and everybody freaking out, figuring all this shit out, like, I'm sitting here thinking, what happened to the food pyramid?
Actually, the food pyramid has been wholly rewritten recently.
Really?
The food pyramid you and I learned when we were kids in school was made up as bullshit or something to sell grain.
Oh wow!
There's some fucking Illuminati fucking shit going on where they're like, let's make grain seem more important than it is so we can fucking make money or something like that. I don't know.
Okay, so let's look at the new one. Vegetable salad and fruits on the bottom. Whole meal cereals, breads, potatoes, pastas, and rice. Milk, yogurt, poultry, fish, fat spread in oils, and sugars on top. Yeah, that makes sense. But I like it. It just goes back to what I was saying. I think we should have a balanced diet. And
yeah.
Part of mine is that
I'd like to talk about a big fad diet right now that none of us can escape. Keto. Let's talk about keto for a minute. So,
how do you even spell keto? Because I got to look that shit up.
You haven't heard people talk about keto constantly all around you?
No.
Oh my god, it's the hugest thing in the world right now. So, it's spelled Keto, and you don't have to look it up because I'm going to explain it to you. Since you don't know about it, this will be a perfect opportunity. So, I'll explain keto as it was explained to me by somebody who does keto. And basically the way it works is it's becoming fat adjusted. So, the way your body usually produces energy is by burning carbs, right?
Yes.
And when you're not taking in carbs, when your body, it's not exactly the same as starvation mode, but your body, it stores fat to use as energy later, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you end up needing it, you don't have any carbs, you're not eating carbs, you can't fuel your body. It's I'll save this fat and I'll turn it into energy later. Again, this is how it was explained to me by somebody who does keto. I haven't, I didn't go to Harvard. I don't know how much of this is pseudoscience or whatnot. Excuse me, I'm burping a lot because I'm drinking a beer, but I haven't eaten anything today. So keto, the way it works is you don't eat any carbs, or you eat a super minimal amount of carbs, but it's you eat really fatty foods. And what that does is your body's not taking any carbohydrates and it can't use that for energy like it usually would. So it enters a process called ketosis. And what your body does in that moment is it takes the fat. It's I don't have any carbs to produce energy. So it takes the fat in your body and turns it into ketones and it burns those as energy. So basically what keto is, it's just eating, controlling the way you eat. You eat a whole bunch of meat and cheese and cream and shit, and just fatty foods, few vegetables at all, and fruit, no bread, and your body, it becomes like fat adjusted, and it learns to use fat as energy instead of carbohydrates, and it like burns away all the fat on your body just doing normal daily things instead of using carbs. And that's the big fad diet right now. Are you still with us?
I think part of me died.
Why?
Because it's just, I don't know, that sounds... Okay, so the reason I believe in moderation is I think to some degree you gotta find some level of happiness when you eat.
Well, yeah, but I mean, these people are eating like sausage and steak every day, you know? It's like they can't have any bread or sugar, but, you know, they're not eating like disgusting things, you know? It's like you gotta eat beef and drink heavy cream and some sausage, you know? It's like it's keto. I think it has become so popular because it's like a dietary thing. You do it, you lose weight without having to really exercise. You do it all through eating, just like controlling what you eat, but you get to eat some kind of delicious things along the way. But so I was talking to this keto guy about it, and he was explaining all this to me. And you know, I want to lose weight, but I want to, like, now that I've got my fat level at a controllable area, I'm gonna start putting on muscle is my thing. I was like, how's keto for muscle gain? And he looked at me and he said, it's not good. If you want to gain muscle, don't do keto. Because while your body learns to like burn fat as energy, like the energy you get from it is not like as much energy as you would get from carbs. So you've got to take in carbs if you want to like work out hard enough to build muscle.
Yeah. Alright, so
keto's good for like the lazy man's weight loss, but the only thing waiting at the end of the road is a big fat plateau. So if you're cool with that, you go ahead, I guess.
that makes me angry and sad.
It just makes me wonder how, like, if you do, like, I'm not even angry about it. Like, it's a fine way to do it. It seems like it's got a lot of science behind it, but if it makes me wonder, like, how if you go back to eating normally and taking in carbohydrates, like, later in your life, like, how will your body adjust to that? Like, will you gain a whole bunch of weight if you ever try to eat bread again? Because you don't know how to process it anymore.
I could probably see that, yeah. So, the only diet that I've ever seen, and I've seen it work in a lot of people that do it, and I'm going to drop some images into the chat so you could see it. So, are you familiar with Kevin Smith, the director?
Yeah.
So
yeah, you love those. What were they? Jay and Silent
the Jay
Bob?
and Silent Bob.
Yeah, he lost a lot of weight recently, didn't he?
Yeah, so I'm going to drop some before and afters, and I'm going to tell you how he did it.
Jay and Skinny Bob. Yeah, I saw that on Twitter. So
He quit eating sugar and walked his dog every day.
Walked his dog every day?
He just walked more and quit eating sugar.
Sugar
and
is
that's
crazy bad for you. But like I said, you got to take in a little bit, but I just think crazy, like the amount of sugar we take in this first world lifestyle we have now. It's like a stupidly high amount.
Yeah, and like that's the only diet I've ever seen the common man do and it have any real effect on their weight loss. Like I went to church at one point with some people doing it, and I watched them slim the fuck down.
Oh yeah.
So like, if you're looking,
is there a name for that diet? Just the no sugar dog diet.
Just fucking eat healthy food. Be mindful. Like turn around on the back of these foods. This is a lesson. Are nutrition facts.
Is that really Kevin Smith in that picture on the left?
Yeah, that's
I didn't
all
know
him.
he ever got that big.
He used to be huge.
Yeah.
So like, you see your sugar content, you look at it, and then you look it up. Is this bad sugar? Is this good sugar? What are we looking at here? And then just don't eat junk food. It's junk food. That's all it is, and we all do it.
Let me tell you, the best way to get good sugar in is to get natural sugars in. Like by eating fruit. If you eat fruit instead of candy, you're gonna improve your whole life.
Yes.
And fruit, people are like, fruit's not sweet enough. Again, it's because you've wrecked your palate. If you can train yourself. If you stop eating so much sugar and eat fruit instead, eventually fruit will become the sweetest thing in the world to you.
Mm-hmm. I love honey a lot, which I guess you figured out by now with my choices in booze and all that, and just talking.
I mean, what can I say? Honey is delicious.
Yeah, and I think I've not looked at the science, but that has to be a good substitute if you got a nice sweet tooth.
If you
get there.
Natural honey, like some of the store bought shit is obviously just like got a lot of additives.
Yeah.
But natural honey that bees have made for you is super sweet and not made with like fucking man-produced glucose or whatever the hell. I don't, you know.
Yeah.
It's probably a bit worse for you than fruit maybe, but it's still like if you I do drink coffee every day and I do put milk and sugar in it. And I've tried to break away from that a few times by like training myself to drink black coffee, which I like black coffee, but I just like milk and sugar better in my coffee. And I'm like, if I just cut these couple of spoonfuls of sugar out of my life every day, then I'd be way better off. But I would say probably a good alternative to coffee with sugar in it would be like a cup of tea with a spoonful of honey.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah.
That being said, it is worth noting that honey is more expensive than sugar.
That is worth noting, yeah. But like, here's the thing: if you're looking to just cut the sugar out,
mm-hmm.
a small thing of honey on the shelf, honey doesn't go bad, and you just keep it around for when you really, really have that sweet tooth. I think you'll be fine.
People out there who might think honey goes bad, if you keep your honey for a long time and it starts getting gritty, that's just the way it like settles. Put that shit in the microwave for 30 seconds and stir it back up. It'll just become honey again. It does not go. It never gets old.
Yeah. It's good shit.
Honey's good shit, dog. Alright.
Fucking I'm gonna professionally segue honey into mead.
Oh, yeah.
Because we need to get the word out. We need to get the word out. Mead is in your local liquor store, boys. Go and get some. It's like, it drinks like wine. It tastes like honey. Hits like beer. It's so good.
If you like wine, but you're like, oh, I only prefer the sweeter wines. Mead is like tastes like fucking candy, and it's made out of honey.
It's alcoholic, but it's not like it's okay. So you know how Mike's Hard drinks, how it's like, oh, this is obviously alcoholic, but it tastes so much like lemonade. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
It hits like that.
I'll say mead. You can't even really taste the alcohol, but it's mostly sweet like honey. It just tastes like sweet honey, but it's got like a little bit of like a weedy beer taste in there almost. Just the slightest bit, and that's I like it because I don't just want to drink honey, you know. But it's still very sweet, but it's not overbearingly so, I think. And
like fucking Vikings used to drink it, so you suddenly have a choice. Yeah. Do you want to be a Viking or a little bitch? Buy mead today.
We were talking about that local place that makes mead here in Louisville. Or Louisville for you foreigners. But it's they were very much like, we got to get the word out. Like, why the fuck are people not drinking this shit?
Mm-hmm.
We gotta drink
it. It's good. It's probably my new favorite casual.
It's just like wine, but it's made out of honey instead of grapes. Buy mead today.
Yeah, fucking drink it.
Let's be mead salesmen.
Fucking Bard and Blacksmith, I told you.
Yeah. We'll talk about that post-podcast.
But spelled B... or, wait.
What are you...
I was going to say spelled B-A-R-D, but then I'm like, wait.
How else would it have been spelled?
Because, you know, like bars... Because it sells mead.
Christ almighty.
Oh my.
Well,
Yes.
thanks for listening, everybody.
Oh no, are we gonna end it on that?
No, I don't know. Do you got what else do you got to say about food, my buddy?
Food is food. Food, yum yum.
I like food.
I keep hitting the microphone.
You know what? We talked about mead a little bit, and we recently had our experience with mead at the Renaissance Fair. You were here to record the last episode, you know, live in the campsite.
Yeah, look, campsite.
Live in the campsite because you were up here because we went to the Ren Fair together. So, do you want to talk about our experience at the Renaissance Fair?
No, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
I want to stick to topics.
We've stuck to the topic. We're an hour in, man.
All right, fine. We'll talk about the Ren Fair. What kind of food did you have at the Ren? I'm kidding. Fucking.
Well, I'll tell you. Okay, we were looking for a certain kind of food. I went to the Ren Fair to experience mead, which I did get to do for $7, a little tiny cup. But
I got a big cup for $7.
It was because it was mixed with beer.
Cider.
It was beer.
Tasted the same.
Anyway, it was yeah, but I got to experience mead. But Zed told me there would be mutton. It was my first time going to the Renaissance Fair, and Zed was like, "They've got mead and they've got mutton. I promise." And that's the only reason I went, because I've never had mutton. I was like, lamb sounds delicious. I got to get some mutton. There was never any mutton. It was all a ruse.
So what I thought
was
mutton.
Zed had mistaken for mutton. No, I'm gonna tell this story. Fuck you. What Zed had mistaken for mutton was turkey legs.
They were fucking huge.
Mutton is not that big, actually.
The turkey legs were so big.
Yeah,
I thought for sure that's what that was.
I guess. But turkey's fine and all, but I wouldn't want to eat it while I'm at a fair because it makes me sleepy. But I am very disappointed that I did not get to experience mutton, and now I'm gonna have to spend money going to a fancy restaurant to get some lamb or something.
If that's all you took away from the Ren Fair trip, that's
no,
all
of course it's not all I took away, but I really wanted some mutton that day.
We watched a guy get knocked off the fucking horse during a joust.
Yeah. As
we
you
were
do in a joust.
We were allowed into an exclusive pipe club and got old man advice on
Exclusive
pipes.
pipe club. It was very aesthetic. We bought a couple of smoking pipes, which was very neat. And they had a little place next to the shop where you could sit down and smoke your pipe. And it was next to a bridge, sort of below the bridge, and an old man in a kilt taught us how to care for your pipe. And we sat there smoking these wooden smoking pipes next to the bridge as people were walking by in costume. And we had to leave because some girl sat down there and started smoking weed.
Since that moment, I've been calling weed reefer because it just sounds cool.
Oh, because that guy came out and was like, "I know somebody's smoking reefer out here. Don't make me call security." But she just kept on smoking that reefer, dog. So we got up and left at that point in case security came by, which is you know what? I'll take this moment to say it. I am not trying to be weed is bad. Weed's fine. I don't dislike weed. But if you're coming into somebody's place of business and smoking weed somewhere, where you're not supposed to, where it's still not legal, that's kind of a dick move.
It is. I think I support the legalization of recreational marijuana.
Oh, I do too, of course. But it's it's much like alcohol, It
Yes.
is a mind-altering substance. You're gonna have to treat it when weed is legal. You can't smoke weed in the streets. You can't smoke weed and go into work. You've got to just do it in your house and fucking be chill. All right.
Yeah, it's an adult in the comfort of their own home. Don't be a dick. And I think there's so many potheads out there.
I'm sure there will be smoking lounges pop up, which are places where people can go do it. That'll be fine. But if
Yeah.
you go somewhere where like the management like doesn't want you smoking weed, like please do not go in there and smoke weed. That's fucked.
It is. You're just being a cunt at that point.
Yeah. And it kind of ruined my pipe experience a little bit because this fucking 19-year-old girl or whatever the fuck sat down and was obvious. Like, you could tell from the way she wasn't, like, smoking her pipe, just tasting some tobacco. She was, like, taking a big inhale of something, and then she passed it to her boyfriend or whatever. It was like, you ruined my aesthetic. Fuck you. That's the worst crime of all.
It didn't bother me that bad. Like, I didn't even pick up on the fact that she was doing it.
Yeah.
I was too just absorbed in just like what had happened with the old man.
For a moment there, that was a beautiful time.
And like the fact, like there's this woman who had probably a 4-foot pipe standing on top of this bridge, and like people at the bottom of the bridge had to light her smoke for her.
It was amazing.
Perfect.
It was amazing. It was super long, like wooden. She turned it upside down. I would have thought it was a walking stick,
Mm-hmm.
It was amazing. It was like it had like intricate carvings on like the bowl. Had some like cool designs on it. It was very cool. I can't wait to go back to the Ren Fair next year.
Yeah, that's what keeps you going all year long. Is going back to that.
It's the only thing I have to live for now, Zed.
You're welcome.
I really felt in my element. Thanks for thanks.
You're welcome.
I'd been meaning to go all my life, but just it's like didn't have anybody to go with, I guess. So.
Well, we've been talking about going for a couple of years. It just last year didn't work.
Yeah, I think you brought it up like very close to when it was gonna happen, and there just wasn't enough time to prepare. I just barely got my costuming ready this year.
Yeah. Well, we talk about going in character as our characters, but that's such a money sink.
It is, but like if I don't know, I hope to like put together some decent costumes, but like if I give myself a year to do it, maybe I can, but then I think like I've got some big money sinks coming up next year. I'm getting married. I'm taking a trip to Canada. Like maybe I won't have that much extra money floating around.
I think the proper Zed costume will be something I slowly piece together.
Mm-hmm.
But for now, I think Torvir the Blue is fine.
Now you remember your name.
Yeah, I've not forgotten it since after the Ren Fair.
After it stopped mattering, now I've got it down. Cedric's character was the best.
Yeah, McDagger, the rogue.
McDagger, the Scottish rogue.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing.
It was pretty great. So we've talked about food, we've talked a little about the Renaissance Fair, and we're just over the hour mark. Anything else to say here, buddy?
I think if we go any longer, your computer won't be able to export the video.
You might be right about it.
Yeah. I mean, I feel content.
This was a nice, short, contained little episode, which is kind of how this one and the last one were, but it's not so bad. I didn't think we would have too much to say about food. So
we're not chefs.
We're not chefs. We do like to cook and we do like to eat, but we're no Gordon Ramsays. So since we've had a couple of short episodes, Zed, why don't you go ahead and pick us a topic for next week that we can talk about for a very long time? Something that, I don't know, we would have something to say about.
Never ask.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
So, Castlevania Season 2 just dropped.
Did it?
Yep.
Okay.
And I want to talk about... So, in the next episode of ClapTrap Podcast, there will be heavy Castlevania spoilers. Just getting that on the table.
All right.
By the way, it's 12 episodes. Please watch it if you don't want to be spoiled. I want to talk about building a story arc.
Building a story arc. Okay.
Just a single contained point A to point B adventure.
Like just
okay.
Tell a consolidated narrative. You mean?
Yeah.
Basically. Okay.
Yeah, like just narrative building and the current trends in shows and some things I dislike about what's going on. And when I hit stop, I'm going to briefly talk about it because it's pissing me off.
Like I can't put that all in the title of the video. What am I going to title that video? You have to give the topic a consolidated name.
Building a narrative. No. Story crafting.
I'll pick one of those. Anyway, that's cool.
Yeah.
So, thanks everybody for tuning in. If you like food, hit that like button.
Subscribe.
Please. Please subscribe to our channel.
It's been a long time. We're only at 6. I think we're at this point where you can waste over a day of your life listening to the podcast alone. And we've got 6 subscribers.
I think you're right. We need to start networking some more, but we'll talk about that later. So take it out, Zed.
It's your topic. You take it out.
It was my topic, wasn't it? Fuck.
Mm-hmm.
The end of the podcast.